Thanks for tuning into the Conscious Hour. So, when you watch this, please leave your comments. It's really important. I need to get feedback from you and questions if you have any questions. Okay, this is about the Western media not reporting, and Trump saying he's having victories, and now you get to hear the real truth, actual facts. Listen closely.
And so it struck all of these ships to different degrees. Some of them were just warned off, turned around, went back. A couple of them were hit. One was set on fire. I think that was the Gathari liquefied gas vessel was set on fire, and the attempt to establish a channel free from Iran, run by the Americans, failed. And what we've been seeing since then is a series of escalations in retaliation for that event. Trump was clearly absolutely furious that his attempt had failed. It was to be one of those quick wins. While the funeral was going on, we opened the straits and they now remain open and under US control. And of course, the Iranians showed that they weren't under US control.
So you ask yourself the question, how is it that we're sitting here watching the news being compiled with people watching this whole war that's going on, and the Western media doesn't even want to talk about the fact that Trump is lying to you? They already witness him all the time. He'll say one thing and the next day he'll say something else countering exactly what he said. But why are the news agencies not reporting the facts? Why aren't they doing their, quote, investigative journalism? The answer? Very simple. Look at who owns them.
They were under, very clearly, Iranian control. So first of all, then the US struck on Iranian targets. And look, without going into the details, which will, I think, be too much for all the audience anyway, I mean, they struck most of the usual targets. These were missile sites and radars around the edges of Hormuz. In an upgrading of the American strikes, it was there was an escalation of the American strikes. 140 targets, I think, were struck on that night. So it was an upgrading. But what was then followed, I think, was a surprise to the Americans, because.
And this one you will not see broadcast in the U.S. So listen closely what Iran did to these other countries that are supporting the effort of Netanyahu, and just listen to the list, because the reality was they were struck extremely hard, and Iran is not finished with them.
Not only did the Iranians retaliate, they escalated up the ladder themselves and visibly took out key strategic assets of the Americans. Principal ones being the Jordan Air Base. They seem to have struck this, super drone that the Americans had there that cost something like 430 million. It hasn't been seen since. Its hangar is smoldering. And they struck a number of other hangars there, which were probably housing American aircraft. But the main attacks by the Iranians were on Kuwait and Bahrain, and also on the UAE. But Kuwait and Bahrain were hammered, really, Bahrain particularly. But Kuwait, because Kuwait was using ATACMS surface-based missiles against Iran. And the Iranians seem to have taken out most of these ATACMS missiles. It was a big attack on that. And so Trump is caught in his escalation trap. I think Professor Pape keeps referring to this, but it is correct. I mean, it's nothing new. generally in a warfare, you try and stay in control of the escalatory ladder. Well, Iran is controlling the escalatory ladder, and Trump is simply reacting to it, and reacting to it is seemingly more out of emotional anger than sort of having thought things through. Because for every escalation, the Iranians have been escalating and continuing to escalate for over these last few days.
So think about, they've been having all these settlements, and we're going to have a permanent ceasefire and all this negotiation going on behind the scenes. Well, every time the U.S. said they were going to do something, they shapeshifted and did absolutely nothing except continue the attacks. Why? It's real simple. Netanyahu controls Trump, and the Epstein files controls Trump. So Trump will do what he's got to do to say whatever he needs to say and twist the truth, and that's what we're dealing with. But the real problem is the U.S. media. They aren't even telling you or showing you the fact that Donald Trump, the President of the United States, is lying to you. Factually lying to you. But you don't question it. A lot of people are starting to look at it now going, wait a second, yesterday or 2 days ago you said this, and then today you said this. And anyways, keep your eyes open. Remember, the Conscious Hour is here. Go to the library and TikTok and the library in YouTube. There's hundreds of videos with all the different issues that I've been talking about for the last, long time, since the big lie. Thanks for tuning in to the Conscious Hour. Please share and hit the like button. And please make a donation. I haven't received any money in all the years I've been doing this. I do it for one reason. I truly want to create a world that is not divided by politics, but unified by respect for all sovereign nations, so we can all work together. It's the big vision, folks. Let's bring the world together and stop this old game of, I want to play Monopoly. I want to blow you up so I can steal your resources. So if you like this kind of commentary and analysis, tune into the Conscious Hour, and please hit the like and share button, and please donate. Thanks for tuning in.